And to breaking news now, a New York judge has rejected Donald Trump's efforts to toss his criminal hush money conviction. The president-elect has been ordered to appear for sentencing on January 10th. James Sample is professor of law at Hofstra University, and he joins us now from New York. James, good to have you with us. So does his legal team, the president-elect's legal team, have any other options here, or he is going to have to appear in some manner in court for sentencing on January 10th?
I think at this point, his options are to appear either in person or virtually. And Judge Merchan's order indicated that a virtual appearance would be acceptable, which is unusual in the criminal context and in a context like this. But these are unusual circumstances. The judge made clear that Mr. Trump will not be sentenced to a term of incarceration. But the judge also made clear that the immunity ruling of the Supreme Court this summer does not preclude and, in fact, authorizes this kind of a proceeding against a president-elect, even if had he been president when these things occurred, and if he were president now during sentencing, the result might be different. So Judge Merchan is trying to get out ahead of the January 20th inauguration date here.
I mean, it's astonishing, isn't it? Because that's certainly what the legal team were trying to do, is at least push this back until after the inauguration. Just to have this within 10 days of an inauguration is pretty astonishing. So what you're saying is there's no other options. Immunity doesn't hold. Go on.
Yeah. I mean, there were other options for Judge Merchan. I don't know that there are other options at this point for President-elect Trump. And to be clear, remember that this is a sentencing that has been delayed multiple times because of those remarkable, and as you say, and absolutely correctly say, astonishing circumstances. But if this were a garden variety normal criminal defendant, the sentencing would have already occurred. And so it certainly will get more rather than less complicated starting on January 20th. And I think Judge Merchan is saying, look, there was a jury of 12 individuals who heard all the evidence in this case. Their verdict and the prosecution's effort needs to be respected. And one way to respect that verdict is to issue the sentencing order, and then on a week from today, the sentencing itself, without waiting for a 4-year term of office.
So the decision by the judge is it's cleaner to do this sooner rather than later. What might that sentence look like, given that it is being handed out to a president or a future president and president-elect of the country?
It's a really good question, and I think we are in uncharted waters. But I think that the judge wanted to get out ahead of some of the hysteria that this might cause. It's certainly a jarring turn of events, but by saying in advance that it will not be a term of incarceration, he will not order the president jailed. The prosecution itself said that that's no longer a tenable solution. I think we're looking at something that will be very mild, but that will also indicate to Mr. Trump and to all breakers of the law that there are consequences for actions, even if those consequences here are mitigated and muted by significant measure due to the results of the November election. A slap on the wrist, whatever form that ends up taking, it could have been worse for Mr. Trump, certainly.
I mean, we were just showing the images that were taken in the court of the president-elect's face, and there's certainly, I think, lots of voters that believed that this case and the charges against him were politically motivated. Just gut instinct, do you think the president decides to appear in person, or do you think he zooms in or does it virtually? If you're trying to make a statement, what do you do?
It would certainly be on brand for Mr. Trump to appear in person and to turn this into a kind of pre-inauguration inauguration. On the other hand, he may just simply decide to stay away and to participate only virtually and to sort of give the proceeding and the judge the back of the hand. Predicting what Donald Trump will do is a business that I have tried to get out of because I'm basically wrong most of the time in that regard. I think he'll make a decision that'll be based on what he thinks is best for him, and that's hard to measure.
Yes, we stay away from that, certainly. James, good to have you, sir. Thank you so much.